Welcome back, folks. We have hit the jackpot this afternoon, and as you can see, not far behind us is one of the Birmingham Boys. We've just arrived here, so not entirely sure which individual it is, but I think it's not the big blonder maned male that we have seen. I think he's up with the rest of them, not far from the individual that we can see behind me. As you can see, the individual behind me is very relaxed, not very full-bellied, although in the position that it's lying it's hard to tell. But what I can assure you, like I said, is they are very relaxed. There have been other game viewers here this afternoon and they've had no major reports to see the other members starting to lift up their heads and look in a westerly direction towards where the sun's setting. We'll just try and pan across to give you the full idea of exactly the situation we are in. So there we have the rest of the coalition. These are the Birmingham Boys. I don't think we've seen them. Oh, there we go. Nice big yawn. Look at that. I don't think they've been seen since they were seen taking down the buffalo. Yeah, so this time when was it last week? Was it Saturday or Sunday last week that they managed to take down a small buffalo calf live? We managed to capture that. Brian was actually filming that. So since then they've disappeared. So good to have them back. And what I'm going to try and do is get a little bit closer to these other individuals, or a slightly better angle, because they seem to be a little bit more active, and it would be nice to get some close-up shots of them yawning. So stand by as we move. Whoever found them here this morning did well. We're quite far off the closest road, so congratulations to whoever that was, and I'm very grateful for their work. So the individual closest to us on the right-hand side is the bigger, blonder male, who in all likelihood is an older brother. And then it appears that the other three, which you can see lying to his left, could all be, sorry, the older cousin I meant when I was referring to the bigger one. Then the other three that we can see are all very similar size, so in all likelihood brothers. So 3 brothers and a cousin, and then the individual that was lying away from these boys here is slightly smaller, so probably also a cousin. They probably all originated from the same pride lioness, and it just coincidentally turned out that they were at the right ages to form a coalition, which is very, very lucky for them to have one another as backup and protection. Is going to put them in really good stead going forward. Look at that nice big yawn. So all distant relatives. It is interesting to notice the behavior in that the smaller individual, which we saw initially, tends to not fit in as well and get as much kind of companionship that the others share amongst one another. That may change over time, but at the moment he does tend to distance himself, and even when it comes to feeding on carcasses, he certainly knows his place, and that is last in the queue, sadly for him. Okay, we've got a question. Okay. Good evening, Genevieve. Welcome to the Sabi Sands. Genevieve has asked whether the manes are there to form a protective function or is it just aesthetic, and it certainly is predominantly for protection. Now, male lions live a very dangerous lifestyle in that if they come across, if these five were to come across the dominant big males who do have big manes, they would get up against some serious competition. So due to their aggressive lifestyle and nature, having to compete for territory, and within territories will be ladies that they need to compete for with amongst one another, they do need that protective mane to help prevent any major injuries when they are fighting. So yes, Genevieve, the answer to that is it is a protective function that the mane perform. To put things in perspective, yes, lionesses do have a choice to a degree over males, but it's more the fact that if males find themselves in a situation where there's a female lioness rather in season, as long as they are the male that is there, that female will mate with him. Now, in order to get there, they need to be big and strong. Yes, looks do provide some benefit to them getting the ladies, but at the end of the day, it's the biggest, strongest lion and that will mate with them. So having a big mane will aid a lion in getting to that position rather than actually looking for the lady. It will protect him along the journey to acquire a big territory within which a lioness would occur. So yeah, thanks very much, Genevieve, all the way from New York. It would be very interesting to know what they had heard earlier. Going with the lion, the leopard earlier, their senses are so much better than ours that they could have heard other lions vocalizing an impala or a monkey alarm call. Who knows? Maybe